Hey, everybody, it's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. And just about 6 hours ago, Brad Garlinghouse, the Ripple CEO, made a surprise appearance at the Las Vegas XRP meetup. He must be feeling very positive about the looming decision to appear in person. It's important to remember that from the Ripple summary of their Wells submission, Ripple's interaction with the third-party XRP community, that would be us, does not constitute efforts of others, which is one of the key factors in determining whether something is a security. And also, Ripple's promotion of ODL, that's on-demand liquidity, that's where the digital asset XRP is used as a bridge, and other products, is related to the Ripple business. It's not related to XRP. And thirdly, most ODL transactions are demand neutral. So this is cash that involves the purchase and a sale of the exact same amount of XRP in a short time, and therefore does not impact the price of XRP. So what you see here is Ripple the company and the XRP community fighting the good fight against the SEC side by side. I know everybody's warning you, don't get caught on this meme coin. I am very happy, however, that a lot of people have made some big money on this. If those that get lured in on making quick money then learn a little bit more about the space, well, we have people who are smart enough to stick around because there is world-changing utility in many of these projects. The Kingdom of Bhutan confirms that it's been mining Bitcoin for several years. They came out of the digital closet using their hydro green energy. They began when Bitcoin was only around 5,000 US dollars. Now the country is not only carbon neutral, it's carbon negative. And that was one of the reasons why they chose Ripple to help them with their CBDC and stablecoin, because the XRP ledger is so energy efficient. Now, get your head around this next clip.
Mr. Secretary, thanks for being here. I want to tap your expertise for a moment. Give me your best estimate, just an estimate, I know, of how soon you think the United States of America will be carbon neutral.
You're about to hear the testimony from David Turk. He's the Deputy Secretary of the U.S. Department of Energy. This got a little bit of coverage, but I don't think enough. The grifters and the government that is spending our tax dollars that have no clue what they're doing, it really has to stop. The irresponsibility is astounding. Have a listen.
So I think, according to the climate scientists around the world, and certainly the cutting edge scientists that we need to rely on here in the U.S., we've got to get carbon neutral by 2050, and I'm very comfortable with that target, and I think that's the appropriate target.
By 2050.
Which is only 27 years. That is not a long time away.
And how much will that cost?
So the cost that I focus on even more is all the costs that are going to happen if we don't get our act together.
How much will it cost to get us carbon neutral?
It's going to cost trillions of dollars, and it'll cost tens of trillions of dollars if we don't get our act together.
How many trillions?
I don't have the estimate or the numbers in front of me. I've seen a variety of different estimates, but it's a large amount. Fundamentally transforming our energy economy is a big deal.
Tell me the estimates that you've seen.
I don't have those numbers right on hand.
So you're advocating that we become carbon neutral, but you don't know how much it's going to cost?
So there's an awful lot of estimates out there. It depends on technology improvement and other kinds of things.
You're the expert.
I know with
how much it's going to cost.
I know with the certainty of all the experts I've spoken about, it's cheaper to get our act together than it is to not get our act together on climate change.
Okay, then tell me the cost versus the cost that if we don't do it.
I think it's orders of magnitude different. If we don't get our act together, it's
you don't have a cost. You want us to get there, but you can't tell the American taxpayer how much it's going to cost? Is that your testimony?
It's going to save us money, and there's a lot of jobs.
Well, how do we know if you don't know how much it's going to cost?
I'd be happy to pull up the latest numbers that I've seen.
How about $50 trillion? Is that right?
It's going to cost trillions of dollars. There's no doubt about it.
Okay. If we spend trillions of dollars and we achieve, some of your colleagues estimate 50 trillion, and it disappoints me that you're not willing to give the estimates. I hope you're not telling me you have no idea how much it's going to cost. That creates a whole new host of problems. But if it costs $50 trillion, as some of your colleagues have testified, to become carbon neutral by 2050, and I'm all for carbon neutrality, by the way, how much is that going to lower world temperatures? Or how much is that going to reduce the increase in world temperatures?
So every country around the world needs to get its act together. Our emissions are about 13% of global emissions.
Yeah, but if
right
you could
now.
answer my question, if we spend $50 trillion to become carbon neutral in the United States of America by 2050, you're the Deputy Secretary of Energy. Give me your estimate of how much that is going to reduce world temperatures.
So first of all, it's a net cost. It's what benefits we're having from getting our act together and reducing all of those climate benefits. We're seeing.
Let me ask again.
Maybe
I'm not being clear. If we spent $50 trillion to become carbon neutral by 2050 in the United States of America, how much is that going to reduce world temperatures?
This is a global problem. So we need to reduce our emissions and we need to do everything we can.
How much, if we do our part, is it going to reduce world temperatures?
So we're 13% of global emissions.
You don't know, do you? You don't know, do you?
You can do the math. We need to.
You don't know, do you, Mr. Secretary?
So we're 13% of global
emissions. If you know, why won't
If
you tell me?
If we went to zero, that would be 13%.
You don't know, do you? You just want us to spend $50 trillion, and you don't have the slightest idea whether it's going to reduce world temperatures. Now, I'm all for carbon neutrality, but you're the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Energy, and you're advocating we spend trillions of dollars to seek carbon neutrality, and you can't, and this isn't your money or my money, it's taxpayer money, and you can't tell me how much it's going to lower world temperatures? Or you won't tell me? You know, but you won't?
In my heart of hearts, there is no way the world gets its act together on climate change unless the U.S. leads.
Tell me how much it's going to reduce.
You
can't tell me. Either that or you won't.
And the final clip is legendary Hugh Hendry. He's on Bloomberg in this clip. And gosh, I can tell you he's a definite recommend on Twitter and on YouTube. I love his direct communication. And hats off to Bloomberg for giving him this audience.
We just ended on the banks. What do you make of the regional banks right now? Like, how bad is it going to get?
Real bad.
What does real bad look like? We've already taken out 4 banks already.
Okay, let me tell you what real bad looks like, okay? The panacea of the Treasury announcing that all deposits are federally insured doesn't solve this problem. There is capital flight, deposit flight from the banking sector, okay, seeking yield, okay? I fear that and I don't say this lightly, but in 1934, the Federal Reserve Act confiscated gold from US citizens. We're at the point where the Fed and the Treasury officials, I'm sure, are having to consider a gate, a lock on US bank deposits. Let me tell you why.
Money is coming out of the mid-sized banks right now, and it's because investors are given higher basis points for getting into a money market mutual fund. So we have what's called deposit flight. It's happening right now. And lowering the interest rates could have stopped this, which basically could save the mid-sized banks. So why did Powell raise again? He's aggravated the problem, and we're in this risky situation even more.
Hey, sometimes it's kind of relevant to panic. I would recommend you panic. What I would recommend is transparency and honesty. You know what, folks, I'm speaking to you on behalf of the Federal Reserve. We got a little bit carried away. We raised rates with a magnitude and a rapidity which we regret. We've come to understand that with the profound leverage within our system, that taking rates to 5.25% when debt, I'm approximating, but is 4 times the size of the economy, I have now surpassed my teen idol. I have now taken rates beyond where Paul Volcker took rates. And now things are breaking, and therefore I apologize, and we're going to bring them down. The good news is, in 90 days, consumer prices are going to be rising only at 3.5%, and probably owing to how I kind of messed up, we're probably going to be looking at deflationary prices next year. So my promise to you is we're going back to ZERP. This system only lives, it only breathes when rates are zero.
This interview is worth watching in its entirety. I'm going to put a link to it in the description below. All right, everybody, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.